Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. You made it to another Creator Spotlight Hour. I'm so happy that we already have people in chat. That is so cool. My name, as usual, is Arzo the Bard. I'm one part of Bard and Raven. The other half, as usual, will be in chat. The Jamie Raven. Please chat, say hello to Jamie Raven. She will be your moderator today. And also, she will grab all of your burning questions for our dear guest today and send them to me later on. Towards the end of the stream, we have a little Q&A. I mean, there will be an ongoing Q&A where I ask questions, but then you can ask questions as well, eventually. But let's not wait any longer. Today's guest is a very good friend of this channel and of ourselves as well. Welcome, CXZman. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
It took us a while. You have been you have been teasing this for so long. I know the first time the first time we played on stream. Wait, was it the Enter the Null Hole? No, you weren't in Enter the Null Hole, right?
No. It was after that.
What was the first time that we played on stream in an AP? Do you remember?
It might be here, maybe on another channel, but yeah.
Was it Tadpole? Or was it?
We played before.
Oh no! Yeah. Right. Deadly Stone Tales, the pirate AP that I did. Yes. We played that first, and back then already you teased like I'm working on some classes.
Oh yeah, I mean, and technically I started to work before that, but because of reasons that actually got spread thin on many months. The total work was shorter than that, but yeah, things moved in my life quite a bit, so I had to.
Perhaps we can get to that and see what happened. Yes. But anyways, this is the reason why we're here, to shine a spotlight on you as a creator and also your beautiful 4 classes that you just brought out, I think end of last week, right? 4 new classes.
I need to remember the date. I think it was last week, yes.
Time is relative anyways. Not long ago, you published these.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's been a week now, yeah.
But these classes need more eyes on them, and that's where we come in. To everyone on stream who doesn't know us, we, Bard and Raven, we do a couple of things, but one of these are these beautiful creator spotlights where we invite Daggerheart creators, talk about themselves and their creations. And today's guest, as I mentioned, CXZman and his 4 classes. CXZman, how do you feel? Can we start the actual interview?
Please start. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
I think we need a cool jingle or something like I don't know. Let's see. Eventually, we might do something like this. But
yes, let's do it with the mouth. Perfect.
Yes. I have my very first question is always the same that I ask creators, but it is such a fun one, and it's like multiple parts, but it boils down to just one question, and this one is, what is your story?
I was born 5 minutes ago.
Whoa!
No, I am soon 42 years old. I'm an old dude. No, yeah, I mean, as it's probably quite noticeable due to my accent, I am French. I wasn't born in France. I was born in Norway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quite big city named Stavanger. The world capital of oil and oil platforms. A great city. No, I mean, it's an amazing city, and I'm joking. I spent 4 years there, and then got into France. Basically grew in France. I only know yes, no, hello, and a few insults in Norway, so I'm not particularly Norwegian by any standards, even though I do have a lot of respect and adoration for the country. I grew in France, and so I'm mostly French. I spent a lot of time learning art visual arts at first. But my goal since 8 years old was to become a game designer. And because I'm old and because France is what it is, when I was studying and trying to get a job, nothing was available to actually train you to become a game designer. That changed in the meantime, but there's basically nothing. And so you basically make your own work, or you find a little backdoor to squeeze in and just get into a job. And so that's what I chose to do, and I chose to go into video games first. And so you can enter video games through multiple doors. I chose the artistic one. And so, yeah, I got into applied arts. Then I got into 3D arts. I've done a little bit of fine art, just 1 year. Usually it's 5 years, but I did only 1 year. And I managed to find work in advertisement first. But one of the guys in the advertisement firm was actually first and foremost a gamer. He already had a video game studio that he left. Got into advertisement because at least there's money involved. But at some point got fed up with advertisement. His true calling is video games. And so he left with an associate to found a new game studio. And a year later, because we managed to have a subvention and a few starting earnings, they got me. And I stayed in that company doing almost everything that you can think of when making video games for 12 years. At some point, I had to quit my job, and now we're here. It's been almost 4 years now that I don't have a job, but I have game design, and it kind of coincided with when Daggerheart started to be hyped up, and when it started to be in beta and then got out, and that's basically when I aligned my work with third-party Daggerheart things. And then I met a guy named Azu, and now I'm here.
Oh, that's a cool story.
Of it.
I like the end of it.
Of course.
Amazing. Oh, that is cool. So I probably could have done a little bit of searching before, because I know that I know the work that you have. Of course, I know the domains that you have done, and of course now the classes. Have you already done any other supplements or games or something that I'm not aware of?
I mean, I have worked in TTRPG field in France earlier. I've been part of nowadays a much more known game maker studio thingy organization that is in France called Dead Crows. They have done many more games now. I'm pretty proud of them. I've left them like, I think 20 years ago, something like that. Maybe 18 years ago, I can't remember. But I worked on a game called Capharnaum. It's think Arabian Nights, Mediterranean adventure towards the 5th or 10th century-ish thingy, after the fall of the Roman Empire, but before the big crusades, or maybe at the time of the crusades. So those hundreds of years, something like that, in a quite similar but not exactly Mediterranean historical settings with a bit of magic. I mean, I worked on that one. I did 6 illustrations for them. I did come in late in the production of the game, so that the game design was already set. They just needed to create the book, and so they needed illustrations. And already at the time, I was like, I would have loved to say a few things about the rules, but it's too late. I'm not a big fan of the rules of Capharnaum, but it was my first experience in the field, so I'm cherishing it. Oh, yeah. I did do a few more illustrations for supplements of Capharnaum and another game called Étincelle, which would be Spark in English. I've done a few things like that. Technically paid but like for my 6 illustrations for Capernaum, in 5 years of exploitation and sales of Capernaum, I earned €80.
That's not that
So
much.
it's not technically it's paid work, but it's
But
TTRPGs. When you
yeah,
don't, if you don't work for Dungeons and Dragons, you don't earn any money anyway. It's hard. I've
hopefully,
earned
yeah.
way more money with my Daggerheart work. It's still not, whatever. But it's yeah. So that was my short foray in the professional side of the of TTRPGs in France. Um, but yeah, I mean I've been in the TTRPG hobby for I think it's 24 years now, something like that, in and out, up and down.
Mhm.
I'm very active now in TTRPGs, but sometimes I dropped it. Some of the times I got back to it. And
Speaking
yeah,
of speaking of
yeah.
being active, you're a super active member in the Daggerheart and Heart of Daggers community. What do you think of Daggerheart as a system? What do you like about it? What you maybe you do not like about it? Um, and also about its community, perhaps.
The community is shit. No, I love you guys. I love you. Come on. No. It's pretty safe, pretty cool community all in all. No. I mean, there's the usual bickering and rules lawyering and things like that. But that's on par with the any geeky hobby. It's fun. But the yeah, I mean, the game is pretty good. I do have on record a few of my contentions. So it's not so much pet peeves, but there's a few things about Daggerheart that I don't necessarily agree with in terms of. I mean, and it is just because I dislike or think that a few things are badly thought out or they shouldn't have been designed in this way, doesn't mean I don't adhere to it. And I have a big ass campaign on Daggerheart that is running. I started small, it's going to be big. And I designed a ton of products for the games. Like at some point, I must be a fan. It's more like
Definitely.
like not to be hypocritical about it, but one of the things that I don't like with the design of Daggerheart, if I have to pick one,
Mhm.
is the domains. Curiously,
Ah.
because that's
Oh,
exactly
tell us
what I
more.
worked on
Yes.
first. Yeah, I mean, it's more like they tried to thread the needle and to do the big split in between both a very modern and narrative TTRPG, the kind of we only started to do starting with the 2000, maybe the 2010s. Um, they were strongly inspired by powered by the apocalypse. And on the other hand, they still wanted to cater to people who liked crunchy TTRPGs and with strong mechanics. And they thread the needle by doing both, but at different points of the game. And I think it's one of those many attempts at trying to mix both. They're not polar opposites, but they do things differently regarding how you divide and spread and share the narrative authority, how you organize truth around the table, who gets to say what comes next.
Mhm.
All of that you can solve in different manner. And they identified two different ways to do it. And the way they found a compromise between the two is they did not. They just put both at different places of the game. Some part of Daggerheart is crunchy and decided by the die. So like you just make a description of what your character say, you roll the dice and the dice say actually no, and you move on. And other part of the game, actually whatever you say works and has to be actually accepted and built upon by the rest of the players. But both of those ways to solve and decide on the story exist, but separate. And they're still inside of the same game, but they are, I don't think they've been merged. Um, it's not a compromise. Like you have games where the dice decide on the story, but they never say no to you. They don't say, actually that did not happen. Actually, you failed and you tried to attack, but you did not, and move on. there are many games where the dice decide on the story, but they just orient and set a tempo for the story. So they don't really say no to you. They just say, now it's getting faster. Now actually continue say what you're saying, and it's going to get slower. I'm thinking of 10 candles. There are dice in 10 candles, but at no point the dice tell you actually what you said. That doesn't happen. No. What it only does is that it works like some kind of a random countdown on how quickly the game is going to spiral down into darkness and death. But it's not, the dice or the mechanics are not there to tell you which part of the story get to be chosen. That's on the players. But in Daggerheart, like in many old games, the dice decide that actually, no, you didn't beat the numbers, so whatever you said, actually, no. And there are other games, like I'm thinking about Outbreak, but it's not necessarily the only one who does that, where you roll the dice first before telling anything. And due to the result you have, you know, oh, okay, I'm going to fuck up. So let me tell a story about how I fuck up. Or you have a great success. I get to be successful about what I said. So if I'm being successful, let's say that actually I do this. So you see how, depending on how you write your mechanics, you can completely change how you approach all of those. And one of the things that I thought was the concept behind the big family of game inspired by Powered by the Apocalypse is that we tend to decide on the fiction not just with randomness and just say yes, no. And they try to make it a little bit more subtle than that by making it a success with fear or with hope, which puts actually 4 levels, 5 with the critical, but there's about 4 levels of the way you can actually interpret the actions. But with many modern narrative games, you tend to decide on stories differently. And some aspects of Daggerheart are like that. And some other aspects, specifically the domains, are absolutely not like that. And the domains tend to be pretty prescriptive on the things you can and cannot do. This is one of the, we've seen in many of our communities, people are coming with noob questions about, hey, I have this idea I could do with my character. Can I do this? Can I do that? And most people will like, I mean, sure, ask your GM. But actually, when you look at the domains, you're like, what you're thinking of is this domain card. And it says that, no, you cannot do what you just asked for. And it's like, yeah, but we kind of free-form narrative exchange with, well, no, because some rules are actually pretty strict. And it's kind of it's kind of contradicting itself in some aspects. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm putting emphasis of the thing that I think are weirdly designed. And so this is where I think if we have to imagine that to be a big soup mixed with the plunger and all that, these are the parts that actually weren't mixed enough for me and actually evade and escape that attempt at mixing 2 very different traditions of TTRPGs. If you imagine the game without the domain card, I think it's there. I think it's well mixed. I think there's a lot of ways you can actually, manipulate the result of the duality dice to make it so that I actually have failed, but actually other people can spend in-game currencies to say, no, actually, you can re-roll your dice, or I'm going to help you, and it's fine, whatever. But the domains are very prescriptive, very sharply designed. I guess the subclass card as well. And I would say from experience, because I had to design a few domains, it comes from multiple reasons, one of which is the cards are very shortly worded. And if you want to give a lot of freedom to the players, you either write something that is very vague, like for example, the Syndicate Rogue subclass, the first foundation. It just says, hey, people. That's about the gist of the card. People everywhere.
Yep.
And what are the rules? How many people? People. That's all you know. That's all the game is giving you. That's very, very opening, very wild. But it's barely a rule. The only rule is that people. That's it. They say it's in cities or communities, but that's the only rule of the card. Like, if we put a lot of detail, we could have just said, people. That's it. And it's the same card, basically. But other cards, like I'm just saying Fireball or Teleport or things like that, they say, actually it works only in this case. It deals that type of damage, but only like that, and it goes in that distance, but not farther. Or it's like, but where's the freedom of deciding the stories between us? Actually, it's already decided. It's on the card, and so it is. Again, if I have to find a problem in Daggerheart, I will say this. I'm also I do have some problems with page 107, which is a very
what is in there?
specific page in the core rule book. Do you know it or do you don't know it? Let's refer to the book. These are this is the one page in the core rule book where they give you adjustments, precision of general rules about what is specific and all that. And there's a big concentration of weird ruling about the rest of the rules on that. I have a big problem with I won't open the book just for that, but there's a whole ruling about what to do when multiple things happen at the same times. And the way it is written is talk about contradicting itself. It's just no. So I just sometimes ignore that page and it's fine. It's just fine.
So I guess
I much rather prefer page 7, which tells you can do whatever you want, and it's good.
True. That is true. I mean, that is the beauty of Daggerheart, which also Ron and Spencer from Diamond Press always encourage people to do. Just take all the things that you like of Daggerheart and leave out the stuff you don't like. And on the other hand, I'm also a very big fan of just like features like the Syndicate Rogue. I love this for the broadness of things that can happen with this, and with it inspires roleplay in so many different aspects. And I agree, this is something that I've never considered before. What you mentioned, that for example, the like certain spells or certain domain spells, domain cards are just way too narrow. And have not enough flavor in there. But this is where you come in with your domains, and just like give you all of the options. And this is crazy. So let's slowly move into actually what your classes are. But before we do that, let's tell a story real quick. Last year, very quickly after Daggerheart's launch of the core rule book, I think it was when it was in August or whatever, you published the 4 new domain. In May immediately. See, immediately in May. 4 new domains, which I only knew about like half a year later.
Oh, yeah. I'm very good at marketing. See?
I think it's less about you being maybe not that good in marketing, but more about me, who only started looking into the Daggerheart third-party scene by that time. So, yeah.
Yeah, anyways. I mean, it's more like I did almost zero marketing on the thing, so I'm not surprised. I tried to, because so I worked in marketing. I know what needs to be done to pass the message onto your target audience. I hate doing it. I can do the advertisement themselves, like the picture, the word, the copyright and all that, the copywriting. I can do that, kind of. But I know also what it takes as an effort to reach your target audience and just yell in their ear, hey, I've done things, buy them.
Please look.
You have no idea how much you have to do that. And it feels wrong. Like, I hate receiving spam. I hate people just spamming them product all the times. And this is the minimum you need to do. That's not abuse. This is a minimum you need to do. And you have to, everything I hate about advertisement, I have to do now? No way. So I know I'm losing a ton of money not doing it, but also I'm keeping my dignity,
The Jamie Raven.
I rather have my dignity than money, basically.
In chat, the Jamie Raven, my partner, has said it perfectly. Marketing, the bane of all of our existence. It's just, you have to do it. You have to let people know that you made stuff, and you have to do it often, because otherwise people will not see it. But every time I feel the same. I feel the same as you. It feels bad. I don't want to spam people. Uh,
I mean, there are
anyways.
ways you can do that. I have my products on a marketplace called Drive-Thru RPG. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah.
And they have a whole system. I don't think it's a great system, but at least they have a way for you to broadcast to the whole audience from the platform in some ways. And this is how you do it. It's a thing like IT and computing in English doesn't say it as good as in French. In French, we call that informatique, which is the contraction of information and
Mm-hmm.
automatic. The whole point of all that is to automate information. We
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have to do that by hand. We
Yes.
should ask platforms or tools to do, hey, just tell people.
Yep.
And drive-through is basically what it's doing. I don't know for sure that there's actually a system for that in Heart of Daggers. It is a new platform-ish, so it's not surprising. But yeah, normally you would hope to go through broadcasting channels in the general sense of the term to do that for you, because if you have to actually knock on all doors to do that, which is still like a legit marketing tactic, but I know a few people whose job it is to do that. It's not great.
Yeah. But we are doing a little marketing attempt today, right now. So hopefully, and this is much better than just spamming people's faces, because people choose to be here and listen to you, which is
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, last year you published already 4 domains. How did this come to pass? If you can tell the story of your 4 domains. Wait, let me see if I remember them. Forge, Anima, Fate, and oh god, no, oh god.
The one nobody likes.
Wait, seriously?
Well,
Is it?
it's the one that is
Wait,
the further
wait,
down in the sales.
wait. I
It's my
can I can cheat a
favorite, but
bit.
I
I
don't
can
know
cheat. Wait, Fate, Forge,
the
Anima,
blue one.
Discipline. Here we go.
Yes. And technically, I mean, it's not important, but in May, just after the publication of the choral book, I actually only got 3 out. Fate came out later on. But yeah, I started with Anima, Forge, and Discipline. And then later I got Fate. I thought I was done with Anima, Forge, and Discipline. And in the making of those domains, publication and preparation of all the files and all that to put them on the marketplaces, I exchanged with other people, and I had people proofread my work and all that. And I just like the thing I was talking out loud regarding domains in those communities at the time is like, look, with the 9 starting domains, they've covered about, I would say, 2/3 of what we can imagine as the fantasies of what you could do in those heroic fantasy stories. So I can see a few holes in that I'm going to fill. But like, there's probably not room for like 14 domains, 15, 16 domains. At some point, what do we even do? I published the 3 domains. I was like, actually, I can think about like 5 other domains. Yeah, no, actually, there's room for more, way more. And so I said, okay, I have to put Fate out. And then I stopped thinking about it. And so I could still work on at least 2 more domains. One of those domains, actually, one of the domains that I thought we need to do actually was published. It's the Wonder domain. Should have prepared that. I can't remember the author of that domain. A wonderful
Yes.
domain. I mean, it's the domain of wonder.
Yeah, so the Wonder domain together with the they had
Yeah,
one class,
2
clairvoyant
classes.
something,
There are 2 classes
something.
in there, I think.
Oh,
Starrun Press. Thank you, Jay.
yes, Darwin Press.
Jay in the
This is
chat,
amazing.
saving the day. Yeah, amazing. When I saw that, I was like, that's perfect. Thank you. It saves me a lot of work.
True.
Amazing work by Starrun Press. Go check it out. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I have a few more in the chamber, basically. But it takes a lot of time. But
Oh, I imagine.
and just yeah. So those domains, it came about because I was part of one closed beta, and I was part of the open beta. I have an NDA signed with Darrington Press.
Wait, seriously? Huh.
Yeah, I mean, if when you do closed beta, like I've signed so many NDAs
Oh,
when I
that's
mean,
cool.
technically I signed only one, but when you work in video games in general and in advertisement, by the way, you are you are held to secrecy
Oh,
in a
yeah.
big way, which is
Mhm.
sometimes just bullshit. Like it makes no sense that we are, but we are. Quick anecdote: if you work at any point with Marvel Studios,
Mm.
the level of secrecy and security model you have to prove to adhere to is similar to the ones they use for spycraft and embassies and states. You're like, why?
And
Because
still,
if you
so many
think
things
about
are
it,
leaked.
I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, but that's because if you think about it, who is the target audience of Marvel? Geeks.
Mm.
Are geeks good at computing, security, spying, getting information? Yes, they are. And it just so happens that among the core fan of the Marvel work, there are some very, very good security officers, and they know how to get shit done. And so they have to literally defend their secrecy, their stories, against spies, against people who do pen test as a job. And so it's so hard for them. The number of stories they have of just seeing random people in their offices just working at a desk. They don't work there. Like they just people just
Mhm.
get in there, trespassed, and like, and so when you have to work with them, you have no idea the level of security you have to put. If you don't put that security up, they just don't work with you because they cannot afford yet another leak, and so it's weird. And so just to say, I've signed NDAs all my life. And so just one more with Darrington Press. So there are things I cannot talk about,
Mhm.
which honestly doesn't make sense because it's all out. But,
True. Well, makes sense. Still,
it's fun. I
NDAs.
mean, NDAs, they are fun because they're also useless. Another thing about legals is that I'm in France. If I breach that NDA, what can they do? Sue me? Good luck.
Try to sue you in a French court, yes, which will be annoying for
I
them.
mean, technically, it's supposed to be a Los Angeles court if they
Mm,
sue me because the NDA is
I see.
supported by the LA court. However, okay, I lose the court case. Good.
Oh no, you're sitting in
Should I pay
France.
you? Yeah. Let's say I don't. What are you
Yeah.
going to do?
Mhm.
So you see, it's like, come on, think about it.
Yep. Anyways,
But yeah,
getting perhaps getting back
regardless,
to the classes, if you're all right. I think
yeah,
we can you can also give a little bit of insights into each respective domain because
yeah,
you designed one class that goes hand in hand with one domain,
exactly.
one of your domains that you published, and
Mhm.
yeah, let's could you pitch us maybe what these classes and the domain bring to the table and can offer to
Yes.
to a player. Let's start with the magician because I currently have the
Ooh,
beautiful cover image of your magician with the not two but three different subclasses. There's a little thing that we can talk about it later. So yeah,
yeah.
what is the magician about?
Yeah, so we start by the end. The magician is the class related to the fate domain, which is the thing that I designed the last. But yeah, so basically, when I put my domains in the wild, the first question I had with anything is like, great, how can I use that? Because it's not because classes have domains, and so I just said to people, look, just replace one domain, it's fine. But people just didn't know what to do. So at some point, when I think it's still the case, if you look at the marketplace in Drive RPG, that I actually gave 4 recommendations of which class you could actually use to play
Mm,
with that domain and just replace one of the 2 domains with that one. But it's not an ideal thing. I knew from the start that if I have to push domain in the marketplace, at some point it would make sense to push classes that uses those domains. So at least it gives an answer to people that just play that class and it's good. And so with Fate, I knew from the start I wanted to have a domain that is actually probably arguably with Forge, but one of the most gamey
mm,
very mechanics-based domain. I still try to always give a lot of whimsical and options and imagination. This is going to be a theme in all of my creation, is that a good game design creation in TTRPGs, to me, should always be given to the players, and the players are like, I have so many ideas what I can do with that.
I agree.
That's the aim. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Balance, no. Fucking
Yep.
no.
That's fun.
That is hard to find, and that's the juice. That's the thing. And that's usually when people actually give my domains and class like 30 seconds, they usually have that, and you go, yes, I got it. That's the whole point. And so Fate, I wanted to give power to all of the people who love math rocks. I don't know. We didn't actually discuss about the cards we could show. One of the cards I have in the Fate domain is Dice Collector, which is, it's all about collecting cards. And I have the picture of a girl with dice falling from her hand. Is like, and it's this is the thing I went
Maybe
for with
you
Fate.
can-
Is like,
you can-
let me.
Continue explaining. I can find Dice Collector if you want, and show it to the people. Do you know which level card it is? Oh, wait, got it.
Get it?
Here we go.
I think it's probably a third level.
It is third level.
Yeah, so you have it. Yeah. Yes, Dice Collector. So it's one of the many features in the Fate domain where you get to do a lot of things, a lot of re-rolling dice, choosing which side actually of dice you get bonus because other people have rolled different things. So I wanted this domain that the players actually get attentive to a little bit. You have to pay attention to the story, but you also have to pay attention about other things, like a little bit of metagame. Because like even the DM, when the GM rolls dice, the Fate domain actually lets you fuck with that. So, you have to be careful. Like, what did you roll actually on that dice? No, actually you roll a 7 because I decided that. So, it's a whole thing about breaking causality, betting on the future and seeing the future. It's about fate. It's about what's coming. And so I went with simple stuff with that and kind of jokey card. I was a little bit tired. So like the first two levels of, the two cards on the first level of, actually there's one level 1 and one level 2, but there are cards where instead of just doing damage with just rolling damage dice, I found new ways to deal damage. Like Chaotic Burst, for example, is a card that you just roll a bunch of d8 and it is, you pick two numbers between 1 and 8. It can be 1 and 2. And once you chose that, you roll a d8. If it rolls 1s and 2s, all of those dice, they deal 1 HP damage to the target, which can be, it can be enormous. Yep. But you don't roll that many of those d8s. I think it's related to your tier or something like that. So you don't roll a ton of them. And also, it's one chance of a 4 to do anything. So sometimes it does a ton of damage out of nothing. Sometimes it does 0, and if it does 0, it hurts you. So you have to be careful when you do it.
Yes. I think you also had another way of dealing damage in one of your subclasses for Magician, if I remember correctly.
There's a few jokes like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean the one that I prefer, my favorite one in the domain is Mystical Coincidence. You roll d4s for damage, but you don't add them. You multiply them. So each of those dice roll a 1 is like, yeah, great. But if you roll 3, 4 is like, oh, that's, whoa, 36 damage out of nowhere. And so, it's all stupid shit like that. The Fate domain is all about that. I did add on top of what you can already do with the wizard, with the... I can't remember the name of the feature, but you have one key number that anytime your D12 roll a number, you gain a hope.
Oh yeah.
I have lucky numbers where there's actually a specific number on each dice that you need to roll to get.
Get a crit.
I mean, right? You get a crit if you roll those. So of course, if you roll a pair, you already get a crit. But it could be like 3 and 7. And if you roll the 3 on the hope and the 7 on the fear, one more crit. So it doesn't change a whole lot of the game, but
It's
it's
just fun. It
it's just fun.
adds on top of the critical hits chance that you already have.
Yeah,
Like, I
but
don't know,
all those
5%
things,
or so.
yeah, but all those things that you have in the with dice and dice mechanics, they change coming to, I think it's 5th. Yeah, it starts with 5th, and certainly it goes up with the 6th level. When you have make your own luck, you can spend 3 hopes to just choose what the dice roll after it rolled. So,
Yep.
so like the GM is like, I rolled a 19 to hit you. Actually, let me freeze spare you. No, you rolled a 1. That's what happens. Or I have lucky numbers. Oh, I got my 3 on the hope, but I got a 6 on the fear. No, actually, I got a 7. Oh, it's a critical. Hey. Yeah.
Nice combos.
There's a few things like that. Yeah. There's a high level card at the level 9, which is Nullify, which is you can go, if somebody roll a die at some point to do something, you can play Nullify to say, you know what, that roll did not happen. It's kind of the ultimate counter spell. Is like, no, just no.
I really like. Wait, can I show the card?
Nullify, yeah, that's like
okay, because it has a very cool image of the dragon that is breathing fire on you, and the wizard
it
is
is
just
the volcanic dragon. It is the volcanic dragon, one of the tier 4 enemy in the core rule book, phase
like
2, I think. And just breathing fire is like, nope.
Exactly.
Just no.
By the way, I don't know if we have already said that, but all the beautiful art, everyone, it comes from CXZman himself.
I did say that I was finding art.
So cool. I just wanted to bring down this, or bring home this point, and like to give you praise for this again.
I did spend much more time on the illustrations for the subclasses than I did for the domains. I tried, because there's 21 illustrations per domain, because 21 cards. It's a lot of illustrations. So I wanted to just do a quick work and just still good, but I'm way more proud of the illustrations for the subclass. I love them so much. But yes, it's just like the whole thing about the domain is that. And so I wanted to find a class that would use weird ways to do magic that would actually be cool with that. And so I tried to find like maybe some oracles, but it was a little bit on the nose. And also I tried to see, because I already had a few more class prepared, I wanted to find at least for each of my class, I wanted to have one of the domains I designed and another domain from the core rule book. At the time I couldn't use Dread because it was to this day, we can still not use Dread, but in
soon,
a few days, maybe.
Soon. Yes.
But yeah, so I just wanted to see that, and I think I already had a few of the other domains in the core book that I already taken for like. One thing is that you have Fate and Codex, and you're like, okay, you have a mage, but I already use Codex with Anima, so like maybe Arcana. Well, I use it for the Pelerin, so I don't know, maybe Midnight. And then I like, but Grace with Fate would be someone who defies Fate. And then I remember Scanlan. I was like, yep, that. Yep. Like exactly that, actually. So also because we didn't talk about it, but the Fate domain actually revives the Wish spell. And yes. One of the level 10s of the Fate is the Fate with a Wish card, which basically is a Wish spell, basically, with a few extra steps. But you can do Wish if you want. You can only do it once. It's similar to Resurrection from Splendor.
Yes.
That once it works, well, your card is gone. You don't get that card back. You have one wish. It's hard to make it work, but if it does, yeah. But and so who better than magicians and street artists and acrobats to actually go sideways with the society and all the norms and all that? And so I was like, yes, magician, because actually, when you look at real-life magicians, they make you believe magic is real in a way. It's all fake. which work well with Grace, with the show, with the whole trick of it. But then I was like, yeah, but when you use Grace, there's a lot of little occasions where actually it's very important that your dice do good stuff and all that. So it wouldn't be counterintuitive. And with the Bard, which is one of the core class for Grace, they went a lot with music and poetry and invocation and inspiring others. So okay, that box has been filled, no problem. And the rogue was okay. They leaned closer to what a rogue person would do, which is to betray, to lie, to be sneaky about. So okay, that is done. What about marionettes? What about illusions in your face? What about all of that? So I went with okay, how can you cheat reality? How can you trick reality itself? That's not in the game. There's a whole opening there. And so I went straight in. The one downside is that before thinking about that, I already had decided that Fate would be pink. And Grace is already kind of pink. True. And so when you try to do the bicolors for the subclass, is that pink over pink. So it's just a pink class. It's fabulous class. I don't know. Oh, it's just very pink.
Doesn't sound bad to me.
No, but it's like you want to have a good contrast of color. Again,
you can't use
pink and magenta. Okay, sure.
You can't use where did I put my dice? Because in nowadays we have in the Hope and Fear set you have like D12 dice for every domain, right? And if you would need to use Hope and Fear that both look pink, that won't help. But yeah.
Yeah, but like so I went with the first two classes I had for the magician was illusionist and cartomancer. I so wanted to do things about cards because this game is about cards and why. That's a pet peeve for me from all TTRPGs. So many TTRPGs go for cards. What is it? Deadlands? The TTRPGs of the Wild Wild West? What is it? I think it's Deadlands. TTRPG, American TTRPG.
Perhaps Jay and Chet can help us. I don't know.
Is it Deadlands? I think it's Deadlands.
Apparently, yes. There's a Yep and Chet.
They have a whole magic system based on poker. Like, great. The facing, the stare down, the bluff about magic. Like, you bluff against the spirits of magic. You play a poker card against the gods. Yes. And it's just whatever the number of the cards is the strength of the spells. Like, there was the families have symbols. There's the heart, the spades, the diamonds. All of that has a lot of story behind it. If you look into the story cards, there's a ton of things. No, it's just numbers. You could roll a die, but you use numbers.
It could have been more. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
That's where the Cartomancer comes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. So I think did I send you the Cartomancer cards? I don't think I did. But you might be able to
I have everything. I have everything.
Oh, yeah. So the Cartomancer, I went like, let me find the cards in your... Yeah, go ahead. What if the cards in your loadout were actually cards? Like, what if you actually use them as cards? And so you can still use the downtime to choose which card gets into your domain. However, you can also do the riffle shuffle, which is one of the features of the subclass, which you actually choose those randomly. So you take your whole vault, you shuffle it, and you deal 5 cards for your domain, your loadout.
I've got the Cartomancer, the first 3.
There you go, the beautiful cards. If you do that, the Cartomancer spell cards, you're not allowed to recall them or to put them in your loadout manually. However, you can use Riffle Shuffle to get them randomly. So the price if you pay the price of not choosing what gets in your loadout, you get extra cards. Weird cards, spells that are usually one-time use, and they do weird stuff that are not usually present in other features, which are still like quite useful and all that. And the whole Cartomancer class is based off you have way too many domain cards. I think you start with 6 in total. Yeah, because you have the 3 starting, and you get immediately 3 more.
Yes.
So right away, you're more than your loadout limit. And starting level 2, you have 7 and all that. When you you actually you have 2 more cards from the I know it's when you upgrade I mixed it up. It's when you upgrade your specialization, you get 2 more, and the mastery you get 2 more, so 7 in total.
Yep, exactly.
Plus the domains that you have, it's a mess. You play with cards all the time, and it's all based on that. And so basically, the strength of the Cartomancer is in the Cartomancer spell cards. The subclasses themselves are not that powerful. And yeah, there's the illusionist, probably my favorite, especially because you have a lot of little things you can do. You can throw powder and use, palming to just make things appear, disappear, and all that. The usual thing like that. You have smartass that allows you to use presence instead of finesse to be sneaky. So basically, you are
which
visible,
is amazing.
but you
I
just,
like that.
you just mess around with people and
Yeah.
it works. But my favorite thing that when I wrote it down, I was like, it's going to be weird to people, but it's so powerful. The mastery of the subclass is Grand Illusion. Grand Illusion allows you to cast any spell that anyone else in the group has, or you've already seen once before, or any of your spells, of course. If you've seen those spells in person, you can cast them, but it's an illusion. You make everyone in very far range believe that you did cast the spell, and everything works as if you did, which people were like, I've had a few proofreaders like, that's nothing. Like, what do you mean?
That's
You
everything.
Don't yes,
it's so cool
it's
because
everything
it opens
want.
up so many wombo combos. With your other PCs.
You become good for shits and giggles, but you become good.
Yes. I love that. This is narrative gold.
Yeah, and it's like, but there's a few caveats. Like, there's a few things that you cannot do. Like, if you deal damage, people who are supposed to receive damage are like, actually it does nothing, so it doesn't work on them. But everything else, and it's it
is fun. And the third subclass of the sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to come to the third subclass because this one is a special one. Because all of the other classes only have 2 subclasses, but this one has a third one. Can you tell us the story of this one? Oh, there's a Chapo the dog.
Chapo the dog. Shout out. Chapo the dog. Yes, we worked together with you on one of those Monday streams on the tarot cards. And Chapo was in the chat and all that, and got excited because Chapo gets excited a lot. And after having designed, I don't know, 30, 20 subclass, something like that.
A lot, yes.
Too many.
Can there be
Chapo,
too many subclasses?
Yet again, came with more classes and subclasses, and was like, wait, actually, I was inspired by the tarot thing. So I did a whole magician thing, but I think CXZman, I think you did something about magician and all that. Like, yes. And I showed them what I did because I haven't had at this time published anything very openly. And so I was like, actually, it's kind of the same. So, okay, sure. I was like, look, we don't have to step on each other. Do you want to collaborate? And yes. Okay, let's collaborate. So we went into DMs, and I think within 3 days, we had a subclass. Because Chapo is like that. It's just,
Chapo is amazing.
When you design your 21st subclass, it's,
Quick another shout out to Chapo the dog. They are an amazing creator, and they recently published a collection of, I think, 9 of their subclasses, but they have many more that are tested and will probably come out soon.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that you guys collaborated on this. This is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it went with, on the thing that you already designed, this class actually would be pretty great. And they're like, no, but what would be great would be a mentalist is like, yes, we don't have so much in Daggerheart. There's not so much actually a dedicated magic to manipulate the minds. It's not that much of a thing, which, can be quite problematic in many TTRPGs anyway. But I'm like, okay. What can we do? It actually works perfectly because there are show mentalists that go on stage and can imagine in their head your credit card number or whatever. So yeah, I mean, Yes, do that. And so we went back and forth a few, and I say like 3 days done. So I
Amazing.
had okay, I have to draw another illustration,
Yep,
which
yep.
I put together in 1 or 2 days or something like that.
I love this. This feels so
And
dynamic. That is super cool.
yeah, I try for dynamism if I can, but yeah,
Mhm.
I'm pretty happy with that illustration. Yeah, but yeah, so that
Amazing.
came out pretty quick. I had to change the layout of my document, which was
Mhm.
already kind of ready. It's like let's fuck that, just move everything.
Mhm.
It is not as ambitious as the Cartomancer as a subclass, but it is a pretty simple, straight up mind manipulation, and it could have been a dread subclass. Let's be honest, because
I see
I
that.
think the
Yes.
mastery of, if I remember correctly, the mastery of magician is you mind control people,
Oh.
and you can kill them if you want. So
Well, as a mastery feature. Yep.
it is a mastery feature, but it's yikes.
Yep. Uh,
But I mean, there's a few hurdles you have to
mhm.
pass to be able to do
Of
that.
course.
But yeah,
Of course. In
go
the
ahead.
interest of time, let's maybe move on to the other classes because we also want to come tell a few things about the other classes, right? Which one do you want to go
Oh my
next? Do you
god.
have a special one or a favorite one, or should I
Oh, I
just
have to
decide?
choose.
I can also decide.
But it's my babies. Why should I choose my babies? Let's talk about the Pelerin. It's in my
Pelerin.
campaign.
Is
I'm
it?
playing a campaign with my friends, and I have one Pelerin player. I'm so happy.
So this is a
She
question. So it is French pronunciation, not English. It's
ah
Pelerin.
yeah, I say Pelerin because I'm French. You might be able to say Pelerin,
Pelerin.
but what you want to say is Pilgrim because it is the translation for Pelerin.
Got it.
Um, so
But we can
Pilgrim.
also make the effort to pronounce it in the French way.
So say after
Pelerin.
me, Pelerin.
Pelerin. Yes.
Very good. With the nasal un at the end,
Oh.
not in, not on, not un, un, un.
Uh. Anyways,
I
this
also do
is this is a safer work stream.
French
We
lesson.
should continue.
Yeah, I do French lesson on the side, so it really reminds. Actually, there's a French lesson that's going to start in a few hours.
Oh, I see. I see.
But anyway, but yes, Pelerin. So so many people were asking, "Where's the cleric? Where's the cleric?" So it's the seraph, but whatever. But people are like, "Yeah, but where's the cleric? And also, where is the monk?" And so they went through the monk, and they actually went for border. That's actually the starting point for me to design the discipline domain. Is that there's a few monk sheet we can add to the game.
Mhm.
There's a lot of ways you can actually still already do that, but start a little more. We didn't have anything to do elemental bending. It's like, come on,
Mhm.
surely we can do something about that.
Yep.
And I wanted something more Naruto, more DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, or something like that. I wanted something like that. And so, discipline domain. What would be the best class for a discipline domain? Well, we want to play DBZ and Naruto,
Mhm.
so let's go with
Yep.
something like that. But on the other hand, yeah, there was this missing part of not necessarily the best culturally sensitive topic of D&D, of monks and things like that. So I tried to be a little bit farther with it, and try to find a way to talk about faith, but not necessarily making it a whole mechanics specifically. Like
Mhm.
uh, all the magic related to spirituality and religion in Daggerheart is kind of vague. But I think like if it has to be a cleric, like actually calling from the gods and all that, I think it's just that hope is magical in itself. And whatever ways, mental scheme you put in your head to pump hope into your body, being faithful, being heroic, or whatever it is, it goes to the same place of magic and it works. So it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be so much about the religion itself, but it has to be about finding a source for that hope.
Mhm.
So I didn't felt the need to go deep into religion. So I tried to find the term that was still talking about the dedication of religious orders, but not so much because monk. It's a specific job or occupation you can have in some religions, not all of them. So I didn't want to go for monk. I didn't want to go for a prayer because not all religions require you to pray in a particular way.
Mhm.
So I tried to find, actually, what I wanted was actually a vagrant.
Mhm.
I wanted characters that actually have, for once, have a reason to go into adventure, which is their place is on the road. They have no business being in city or in village. They have to be on the road. And a religious worker is a pilgrim. There you go. So I went with Pelerin because I like French words. I don't like French language, but words are cool.
Tell me about it.
And so yeah, I went with Pelerin. It's always the trick to switch to other language to add a little bit of mystery to it, which is just other language. It's fine. But yeah, I went with Pelerin, and the two subclasses there are the Devout. Up to recently was the Exalted, but I went with the Devout. And the Inarcanate, which, if you don't know what an Inarcanate is, it's normal. I invented that one. So the Devout is basically somebody who goes around to teach wisdom to people. And having the, basically it's, I went with a character that is in between what we imagine being a monk warrior and an old grandpa that's going to slap you with his sandal because you've been rude. And so yeah, the hope, the class hope feature for the Pelerin is chastised, and it's basically to shame someone with 3 hope. You
Yes.
point at someone and you shame them, and it works. So yeah, it's all about that, and the Devout leans onto that. The whole mechanics with the Pelerins in general is that they have vow. You have a list of 4 vows that you can pick from. You pick only one, and you have to play to adhere to that vow. If you don't, you take stress damage and you lose the power associated with it. I can talk about all the vows. It's
I
quite public.
especially like the vow of the blooming mind, where you have an aspirant at your side that you have to
Yes.
like teach.
You have an NPC that's
throughout your
following
level.
you and
That is
trying to
very
learn
cool.
how to be
I
like
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's basically a personified help dice that goes in your way often.
Yep.
Like anytime you call for the help of your aspirant, they just, yes, master.
That is pretty cool.
So you have that. You lose that vow if your aspirant dies.
Obviously. Yeah.
Because you have to now to protect them. I will repeat again that the Pelerin class does not have I am your shield. So careful.
Yep.
Depends where you go. You could go up on top of that mountain that is very hard to climb with your aspirant. Sure. Sure about that?
Do I remember correctly that the discipline has a very high level card where you can take damage for your friends or something like this?
Not really. You can take a ton of damage
Yes.
with discipline.
Yes.
No, the high level cards in discipline. Let me check. Did I put something that you can? No, you can't. No. It's all about discipline. Is all about a lot of stress expense. There's a card, Iron Will, I think. Yeah, Iron Will, where you can now have an additional group of tokens that you can spend as if it was stressed. Kind of. I mean, if it's stress from the opponent, it doesn't work, but stress that you have to expend for your capacities, you can. So you can basically be completely cook on stress with that class. However, a class consumes, the domain consumes a lot of stress, so, it's kind of linked. No, you cannot take damage for the others. However, you can sacrifice yourself.
Yes.
There's one of the level 10s is Break the Veil, where once you activate it, you have tons of bonus. You add your proficiency to everything, and there's tons of damage. However, every time you do an action, you lose 1 hit point. And the only way to end that condition, the only way, is to make a death move.
And
so
you don't have access to fall unconscious, right?
You cannot be healed, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So even if people are, I'm going to put hit points, like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Let me sacrifice myself.
So you still have access to avoid death, of course. However,
Okay.
if you play the Devout, the subclass, not the domain, but the subclass, at the mastery level, you can choose not to get to the mastery, of course. If you get to the mastery, you have the way of eternal devotion, which is a vow that you can take, that you attach permanently a poem to your wrist or your ankle that describes why you want to give your life for your cause. At some point, you get a few completely broken bonus, like you have a super critical with that power. From now on, every time you do a critical success on an attack, you add the maximum damage twice on top of the dice you roll. So just
More
getting cooked.
damage.
However, from now on, you cannot pick avoid death when you do a death move. So it's just the highway to the end of the character, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. If Blaze of Glory was a class,
Yeah.
there you go.
That's what it would be.
And the Inarcanate is basically me trying to give an alternate version of what you can do with DBZ. It's basically it's the other way of thinking about the discipline domain, where you're trying to find a strong source of energy from inside, which is going to burn you, basically. And the Inarcanate is the stable version of that flame being, as you try to become a flame of energy. So if people have seen Naruto, if you've seen Rock Lee and Guy Sensei, they have this thing about breaking the doors to letting the energy flow to their demise. And that's basically what the Inarcanate does without dying. Nice. But it's about that. It's about becoming weird, becoming energy itself. The cool. Master level of Inarcanate is basically the reverse of the constraints you have when you do a beast form. When you do a beast form, you cannot cast new spells. You still benefit from the spells you cast before, but you don't have access to new spells. Well, when you become the Inarcanate, the Mastery, and you are in the Inarcanation states, you don't have access to your abilities. You can cast spells, and only that, actually. You don't have access to your abilities anymore. So,
It's fun. I like that. Let's move on to another class that I must ask. What is the right pronunciation of
your
this?
pick.
Espirimancer or
Espirimancer.
Espirimancer.
There's
is
a
cool.
thing with there's a thing with the Spanish language in the way it has evolved that Spanish speakers, especially native Spanish speakers, they have issues with starting words with some consonant, especially the S. And so in English, you have spirit, but in French, it is esprit. But you see that if you just remove the E at the start, it's just spirit. It's the same word. And Spanish would say espirit. And so I went with that because it is still something we see in the Romance languages, and it's a thing that Spanish speakers do. So let's go with that. But it is basically a magician of spirits, Espirimancer.
It is another form of necromancy, right? This is so fun.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the anima, I wanted to be respectful of many necromantic tradition of the real life culture. And because in D&D and from time immemorial, we continuously consider necromancy to be the evil stuff to do. Like the get-go, like if you want to do a bad guy, necromancy. That's very culturally insensitive. Again, in real life, there's a ton of necromancy in many cultures in the world. So shut up, stop doing that, please. The heroes should be also necromancer. Now, of course, raising an army of 5,000 zombies to scare the people and raise more zombies, that's the problem. That's raising armies to scare people. That's the evil stuff. The fact those people are corpse is not like, that's not the problem in itself. So I wanted a necromantic-inspired domain for the players, and I didn't want to insist on the dead thing. I actually wanted to insist on the playing around with the souls with, if we are to believe that there's a body and a soul, which is not necessarily what you can believe, but if we go from that standpoint, when the body dies, what happens to the soul? So there's a lot of ways you can think about that spirituality. The whole point of anima is like, wait, I know what to do with it. I have a few stuff I can do with it. Yeah. I can actually listen to it. I can actually drag a little bit of that life force and put into stuff to make little toys and move by themselves. Or I could raise the dead. Yes, I mean, of course, yes.
That's so
But I went
mundane.
also.
Everyone does that. You're doing cool
That
shit
happens.
with
Happens.
the
You know,
souls.
you trip on something and up zombie. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. It happens. But the other side of the anime is about all of that magic. It's probably shunned upon by a lot of people because, hey, you're playing with the souls of our dear departed. Can you please stop? And so it's all about forbidden spells. So I went with it's a domain with grimoire cards, by the way, like Codex. So it's a new domain with grimoire cards. So of course the class I designed was Anima and Codex, so that's all the grimoires. You get all the magic. And but yes, for Anima to stay on that, there are a few cards. There are 4 of them called rites, RITE. Rituals basically that you can do to change yourself. So those are 4 cards, and when you pick, you change a few things on your character sheet and you put them permanently in your vault. They are not in
Shall
your
I
loadout.
show some of these?
Yeah, start with the Earthright if you have access to it.
Yep. Wait a second.
Ah,
The rights are at the end. Which one?
the Earthright, it's a level 3.
Oh, Earthright. Oh, there are more rights then. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. There's 4 of them. The Earthright is basically if you've read or played the Witcher games, you know what this is about. This is basically the grass rite, the grass ritual. You become immune to disease, you become resistant to toxins, you become a little bit more resistant. It's not that big of a bonus, you just ignore a lot of stuff, but you're not becoming too strong. The rite after that is the ancestor rite, where actually you befriend one specific departed spirit that's follow you around, and basically they give you more information about stuff. So you do get a permanent bonus of +1 to either your knowledge or instinct, one of the two. You get 1 stress slot because spooky, but also you gain 1 new experience starting at 4 straight up. Because again, you have an old woman or guy in your head that is whispering you more stuff. So you have more experience. So those are fun. And then you get to the Eternal Rite, level 7, which is eternal. What do you mean? Well, you don't age anymore. You have resistance to everything cold. And you get +1 to either presence or strength. So, so you don't age anymore. And then you get to the Immortal Rite. The Immortal Rite actually is the illustration for the whole domain that you can see the goblin with the blinking eye. The Immortal Rite, you cannot die anymore. You don't do death moves. That's over. That's done.
Amazing.
However, now you have to pick one of the 4 additional cards of that domain. That domain has 25 cards, not 21. Those are Deathlove cards. You have 4 versions. It's easy to design a new one, but you have 4 starting thing that when you take the Immortal Rite, you cannot do death moves anymore. However, you choose one of those 4 cards with a condition, a strict condition on that card. If the first time that condition gets into play, you die. No death move, no anything, you die.
That is very cool.
Die.
I like that.
And so one of them is that if you get beheaded, you die. Anything else doesn't kill you, but beheaded, you die. Life code, you choose a tenet to follow, a vow to adhere to, oath towards a cause or a special someone. The first time you break your life code, you die. Choose it carefully. There's also the soulmate, where you actually have your soul in a crystalline form that you can give to someone with the promise that they will never give it back to you, because the first time anyone, including them, offers the stone back to you, you die. So it's someone you must trust. Also someone that is not immortal like you. So, careful. We have fun,
Oh, yes. I mean, this one goes hand in hand with. I also enjoy the new Ghost transformation card from Hope and Fear, where you come back to life, but you have to fulfill 1 task. And once this is fulfilled, you die. This is cool. I love this.
Because they went straight for that. I went with a whole 10 levels of thing, but they went straight for it. Also, I'm pretty sure as a ghost, you're not immortal. You
No.
still make death moves.
Yes. Yeah.
So
True.
that's
But
But I
you
mean,
still
of course, if you
know
play,
that you have
yeah,
that you know there's an end. You can, if you
yeah,
want, bring your player or your character's death on your own. So
yeah.
this is cool. Yeah.
It was actually to stop talking about my work for a quick moment. It was a great. I've never implemented in my games, but it's a great advice that I heard once. When you start a campaign, if it has to be a scary campaign in some aspects, ask each of your players for their player characters to write down how they think their character should die. They write a little scene. It can be like 1 or 2 sentences, but describe the vague, like maybe it's going to be betrayed by a friend, maybe it's going to be thrown into lava, whatever. Once you have that, oh boy, that's a powerful tool because say one of the players said, oh, my character actually falls into lava. Anytime you go next to a volcano or you talk about there's a mage that just invoke lava, it's like, okay, that's serious actually because Mike, I know that my character is going to die in lava, so okay.
Fun.
And so it's just a piece of paper. Maybe, I mean, the rules also say that, hey, you might die somewhere else, some other way. Like if you take a crossbow bolt in the face, you might die, you know. But there's one way their character believes they are going to die. And it's such a powerful story tool. Oh my God.
Yes, I imagine.
And so, yeah, I mean, there. Exactly that.
What subclasses do the Espirimancer bring?
Esperimancers, yes. So I went with capitalism.
Of course.
No, I mean, yeah, I didn't want to do like I haven't seen the summoner class by this time, but I didn't want to do yet another necromancer. If you want necromancer for Daggerheart, there's like 5 of them by 5 different people on different marketplaces.
There's an amazing Dracomancer on the Heart of Daggers homebrew vault by Chapo the dog.
There you go. If you don't get your classes from me, get them from Chapo.
Exactly.
No, so like, come on, necromancer, bad stuff. You raise zombies and all that. Sure. I wanted to see. No. Let's actually talk about what if a mage, a wizard, had access to forbidden spells that deal with the dead. What would they do with it? A ton of nasty stuff. So capitalism first, with the Crystallomancer. When you have people kill people around you or creatures, or if you do it yourself, you have, as a general thing, Esperimancers, they get to swallow and capture the fleeting souls of dead things around them. So if you kill rats or if you kill a king or whatever, you have one chance and only once to try and roll a dice to see if you can get that for you. You have ways to increase your chances, of course, but this is the rule. And depending on which subclass you take, this captured essence, I call it, is going to do different things for you. As a Crystallomancer, that captured soul becomes a crystal, a gem, a gemstone. And you can do valuable things with it. You can sell it. You can just earn money selling the solidified souls of the dead. Capitalism. Or you can enchant them. So you can also use them as wasting them, just throwing them as grenades, basically. Not necessarily the best use of your time, but you know.
I
Starting
also,
with this,
as a little addition to that, because I think this is a really cool feature. When you defeat an adversary with this, if I remember correctly, you can choose one of the adversary's features to be ingrained in the crystal, right? And then because this is also another thing that you have to then really define with the GM. How does it look like to draw a feature and how does it manifest in this crystal? But this is something really cool. I like that. This empowers homebrewing on the table. Which is cool.
I mean, starting with the specialization, you become an enchanter as a Crystallomancer.
Yes.
It is also Carlos did with one of his things with Pistolet. I think there's some ways to.
I think the infusions you mean, right? Where you add features to equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar. Like, basically, you can take a feature from an adversary if you kill them and manage to capture their essence. If you use that crystal to soak it in on one of your weapons or equipments, you give that feature more or less to your weapon. So you have to work on it because the game design of the adversaries was not designed to be one played on the player side. Daggerheart is asymmetric in this manner. Two, not as a weapon. Like you have to be careful about it. But on principle, is what happens is that because you've killed an ogre, and the ogre had that feature that every time it strikes everybody on the very close range. That can absolutely be added on a weapon. Makes the weapon pretty fucked up, but yeah, I mean, you have a lot of monsters, and when you attack them, they deal you back fire damage or something like that. Like, yeah, now you have a sword that is have a fire around you, and every time you get attacked, they get slapped back. Like it's in for many cases, it's quite easy to see how you can use the feature like that.
Yes.
Some other adversaries, less easy to see how you can do that. But of course, if you're fighting the volcanic dragon, you might want to try and capture the essence because
Yes.
so there are a few things like that. And when you get to the masteries, you get to keep all of the features, so you don't get to choose. But basically, the Crystallomancer can generate either a ton of money, because all of those, you don't have to enchant yourself, just sell them to people and explain, this is the soul of a dead volcanic dragon. Like, that's a lot of money.
Yep,
Also, this is the soul of your daughter. I killed them and I have her.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, this is when it goes evil,
Yeah. You want to play an evil character. Just
Yeah, and also the Manamancer. The Manamancer is more relatively straightforward. You can still play kind of like a wizard, but the more you kill people, the more you get to send their spirit back to the others. And so you can infuse the spirits of the dead inside your own spell. You don't get to keep the essence you captured. Like if you do a rest and you still have some capture essence on your inventory, they fizzle away. I think they give you stress back.
Yep.
Yeah, they clean your stress, I believe. So you have to use them quick. And if you do, you can actually improve your spell cast. You can heal some. I think you can heal people with it a little bit. You can at some point make other people benefit from the same kind of bonuses. So when you acquire souls from the dead, actually you reuse them as energy, basically. So it's really a wizard power by death.
This is also a really flavorful thing where you then can say, I'm using this soul slither from the wyvern to enhance my arrow or whatever. And then you can just explain how does it manifest. This is really cool, really flavorful. And I'm all in for cool narrative beats.
And the last class that we have now is the Saboteur.
Yes. This
so that's
Saboteur.
Again the French word. However, yes. Yeah, you played with the Saboteur in your campaign, right?
I did. In the Play-by-Post campaign from Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, who can't be here, but who's watching this on the VOD.
But yeah, I think one of the Jeff's players actually used that as well. There's 2 people in the wild that I know use Saboteur. The Saboteur is for the Forge domain. The Forge domain is my attempt at satisfying the absolute craze and thirsty demand for artificers.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Which absolutely would have their place in Daggerheart. I'm almost certain they are trying to cook something about that. It's impossible they don't think about it.
I think they already mentioned some time ago that something is in the works in regards to artificers. So yeah.
And so I went with, look, they've gone for kind of Renaissance-y. If you look at the illustrations and the type of armor and sword and thing they use, they have guns in the book. So like, okay, we're about this era of the 18th or maybe early 19th century, something like that, compared to Europe, say. So, okay, so let's go with guns and do explosions and things blow up. So I went with a lot of inventions and the engineering and science part that tried to do a lot of things for warfare, but didn't really think about the consequences of giving those tools to humanity. And so it's all about inventing stuff, mechanics, increasing your personal power with science. And as much as for Fate, I gave a gift to the people who are attentive to multiple things and play the meta game. With Forge, I went for, did you think Daggerheart was too easy? let's increase your mental load. And so
Yep.
many of forged cards have tokens on them.
Mhm.
And at some point, the tokens start to move from card to card to do different stuff. And
But this is cool. This is like an engine because you are an engineer basically in this, and
yeah,
you are doing math and engineering while playing the game. This is
math,
on
not so much
point.
math. You count to 1 to 7, basically. But
Yeah, but I mean,
math
still,
is-
right? It feels like it, and
no, but
I like
yeah,
it.
but basically at some point, I think it starts with mechanized weapon. You start to have to handle in the forge domain. You have to handle your fuel because now some of your cards and capacity need fuel, and so you have to replenish it, make it yourself during rests. But also you have to manage which card has enough fuel. Okay, I can still use that card like 3 times and things like that. And the farther you go, the less the fuel becomes a problem. At some point, it is level 8. You have access to the fuse core. The fuse core is basically a thing that just creates a ton of fuel for you and just powers all of the cards that have fuel on them. And you can create more fuel and dispatch fuel for other cards, so you get to use them more often. Level 9, you become the war machine, where I basically have a war exoskeleton that gives you a ton of strength. You become a space marine, basically. And at level 10, hey, there's a good source of fuel yourself, and you plug yourself to the machine, and now you can become.
Now you become the
You
machine.
can heal yourself with fuel, and you can use your life as fuel. So
I think I have to show this card because it's
the blood fuel,
such a beautiful
war
illustration.
machine or fuse core, all of them I love.
Deus Ex Machina. I love this.
Ah,
I love this illustration.
the other level 10.
Yep.
Deus Ex Machina, yeah, I love it. It is the key card for the key art of the domain. Deus Ex Machina basically allows you, with a ton of work, basically allows you to create a clunk, a new player, a new character.
Yes.
Because the clunk have to come from somewhere. It's not like Mama Clonk and Daddy Clonk love each other a lot. It's not like that. And so there you go. To create a clunk, you have to sacrifice definitely one of your HP. So you cannot create like thousands of, unless you have a way to create more HP max. No, you get to create 11 of them. The 12th one is going to be, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, again, this is a card that, in terms of mechanics, is like, what? How much damage does it do to create a new clunk? No, what? No, it's just about stories.
Exactly.
It's about stories.
Storytelling.
You want to create clunks because you love life and you love being like, maybe your character who don't have opportunity to have children for many reasons, but you can create a new being in life. Like it's of course, yes, let's do that. And so Deus Ex Machina, level 10 card, create a clunk.
I love that.
So I did put in italic that work with your GM to figure out how, because I cannot tell you what's going to happen, but yeah.
You have a clank. We're 10 HP, and these are the thresholds, and this is the difficulty. These are the features. Yeah. This would be super bad. And I mean, this is exactly what you mentioned at the start of the stream, where you don't want Daggerheart to give too much guidance and just have more narrative freedom. And this is exactly what it is. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's all about the Forge domain is all about those crazy contraptions. And so again, I had to pick a class. Artificer, right? Why not? I created
this
the
one
domain
is
for that.
Different than Artificer.
I mean, same again with the Necromancer. If you want Artificer, there's like 10 of them on Reddit, on everywhere. Like I'm not a D&D player. I know people have a deep love for the Artificer from Eberron and all that. So like, let people who know what they're talking about do what they're talking about. So what's the second choice I could go for? Well, one of the aspects of Forge is that it is about the folly of science and engineering doing shit for warfare and don't really think about the horrible consequences of mechanizing or machining war. So let's talk about that. And I went for Saboteur, which
So you
also
put
in
them
real
in there.
life
You
are
put the
the
scientists in the war so that they see and
yeah.
feel what their inventions do.
I mean, Daggerheart, despite being quite a whimsical and great game, is a game about combat. We tend to, in all heroic fantasy stories, be very careful about many horrible things human can do. Apparently, murder is not a tense subject. I don't know why, but we do like killing people. Let's go with that. Normally, if you see someone, even back in the days, if you
Oh, I don't know if stream can hear this, but I have problems listening to you, CXZman. Hopefully this is not. I guess this is going over to stream as well. Could chat let me know if this is a problem for you as well? Yep. Okay, great. Discord, or rather internet, everybody. I don't know whose problem this is, but Christophe, you're back. I think you're back. Hello.
Yes. I think it was on my side. I had
Oh, really?
5,000 ping, so
Oh, shite. Okay.
That's too much.
You are back.
It's over. It's over. So. Okay. What I was saying, I don't know where I was cut.
You mentioned putting the engineers into war.
Yeah. I mean, it's horrible. So let's talk about it a little bit. The Saboteur, even in real life, are the people responsible in military to do the sneaky tactics and the dirty tactics. And so there are multiple ways to do that. Either you do flank attacks, discrete attacks, false flag attacks, and things like that. Or you can use bombs to blow up bridges. So I went with those two. So you either do a demolitionist,
my favorite,
which is just a person very fond of, what did I describe? Play the demolitionist if you believe catastrophic destruction is a perfectly valid solution to a lot of problems, if not all of them.
I love throwing bombs.
Yeah, that's a very sensitive, sensible guy. No red flag at all, no repercussions whatsoever. And this subclass is particular because as a foundation subclass, the first thing you do is train Grenadier. Take the Grenadier class
I can probably show it, right?
Sorry, from the Forge domain, even if you are below level 5. That card is a level 5 domain card. You get at level 1. And people were like, oh, no, it's unbalanced. What are you doing? It's like, I'm not
you thought about
stupid.
That. Yes.
Yes. The Grenadier card actually scales with your traits and your level. And if you get it to level 1, it does almost nothing. You either get to do 2d6 damage once, or you do twice 1d6 damage per rest. And so it's like, that's tame,
fine.
you know?
Yep.
That's okay. It's not like crazy. It gets a little bit more stronger in level 2. Where I think if you play your cards correctly, you can do twice 3d6 damage in a zone, which is a lot. It's a lot for level 2. But, well, that's a class as a thing that is good.
Yeah.
It's not like, it doesn't break the whole balance of the game. It's just slightly better than other options. It doesn't last. At some point, every other class catch up, so it's fine. But yeah, it's all about, it revolves, because in Forge, one of the tokens you get to manipulate all around is the explosive or the powder tokens. The powder tokens are for ranged weapons. The explosive tokens are for explosives. And the fuel tokens is for specific cards that use machines. The demolitionist is almost all about the explosive tokens. It's also the guy that is resourceful. Since the Forge domain uses toggle everywhere on all the cards, basically, when you get to the Mastery of Demolitionist, you get to keep one more token. It ups the max of token you get on all of those cards, and you can store more. And when you replenish those tokens, you get one more for all the cards. Which sounds like it's not that big of a deal. But in Forge, there is a card level 8. Is it 9? Level 9. The Oblivion Detonator, which is basically the just before atomic bomb. It is a Magitech bomb that basically engulfs a whole zone in far range of pitch darkness and cold. And outside that, it's a blazing inferno. So it's as if it was able to reverse entropy at a very fast pace.
Very
And it's
fun.
quite destructive. You can only have one at a time. Unless you're a demolitionist, you can have two.
That's
And
so cool.
So, things that I thought ahead of time. There is about 6 months between the moment I designed all of those domains and the moment I designed the classes.
Ah.
And so, yeah, those are the things that I thought about earlier. And so, future-proofing your design is very important. The breacher, however,
exactly, yeah.
The breacher, however, is what illustrates what you can do with warfare with the bone domain. And the saboteur is bone and forge. That's why. And so when you lean more towards the bone, you have a fighter that is very fast on their feet. It's just yet another version of how you can fight dirty and still be very good at evasion. It's focused on evasion build. Still a spellcast trait of knowledge for that subclass. And it's about, basically, if you want to play an actual tactician, that would be the best class and subclass for you. You have war maneuvers with the class itself, which are interesting also for demolitionists because some of the war maneuvers allow you to actually move the whole pack of adversaries in a single direction or towards you and all that.
Maybe
so you
move
can
them in
pack
your
them together
grenades
and throw
or
a
your
grenade in
bombs.
the middle.
Yes.
Yeah. But with the breacher, you can actually distract them and send them the other way. You get more evasion. It's you get one more evasion straight up on the subclass, which avoided me having to up the evasion of the demolitionist, which is not exactly its chic. And when you get to the mastery, you get +2 evasion if you're not next to your allies. So if you breach into the lines of the enemies and stay far from the ally, you get more evasion because you play solo-ish. But also you get a better angle to shoot people and all that. So Daggerheart is not a great game if you want to play placement, because it's no Draw Steel, it's no Pathfinder or D&D or whatever. And so only the warriors get to have attack opportunities and get some control of the battlefield. Movement, it's quite free. So it was hard to find interesting ways to actually think about the position in the battlefield. And one of the ways I gave is that the breacher and the saboteur in general have a war maneuver where it's good to be next to the other, tight ranks. You can basically share. Is that?
Let me read again.
Yeah, you can. Because you are next to your allies, you get to tank the damage as if you were spending armors, but you use one of your maneuver tokens. You have maneuver tokens to play your war maneuvers. And so you have a little bit more resistance to damage if you are tightly with your allies. However, the breacher, if they also go away, they don't get that benefit, but they'll get more evasion depending on the situation. It might be better. Mm-hmm. So, it's all about that. It's about playing dirty. You can salt the wound. So, it's all...
Oh, this is a war maneuver for mastery, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, salt the wound is you get to add as many stress as you inflicted HP to your opponent.
Yep.
So that goes fast. If you inflict a severe damage, that's 3 stress for the opponent on top of the severe. So yeah.
I think we covered all of the classes now, and we're already. I usually always just say, "Oh, this is Spotlight Hour," right? We just do 1 hour, but then things are just so cool and interesting that I just go over time. But let's spend like maximum 15 minutes on questions, because I still have questions from the audience and also from the aforementioned Jeff that is not here. Sadly, or at least not live. I've got a question from Jeff, and because Jeff is from Canada, from the French-Canadian part, he sent me a French question, and I will try to.
In French?
Yes. I practiced with the Jamie Raven, so hopefully I'm not butchering too much. Let's see.
Give it to me.
Peux-tu nous parler de l'expérience d'être un créateur solo? Qui fais-tu? du design des mécaniques jusqu'aux illustrations et la mise en marché.
Ah, la mise au marché, ok.
What did I say? Can you please? I mean, I have the English translation here as well, but
No, it's
did you
yeah. I
understand what
mean,
I said?
what is it? What does it mean to be a game designer and a full creator that also does illustration and the marketing?
Yes.
It's not easy because I worked in the video game industry and in a small team. I mean, I think the largest we were was temporarily 7 in our company, but usually we were 4. Or one of the games we developed, we were two of us. So when you are in this small of a team to do this complex of a project of video games, you have to learn to do many jobs. I'm proficient in 9 different jobs. I can do illustrations, I can do 3D art, I can do rendering, I can do game design, I can do narrative design, I can do level design, I can do sound design, I can do video edits, I can do traditional animation, I can do Flash integration, all of those I have to do professionally. So yeah, I know how to do all that. And so TTRPGs regarding to the skills I had to develop for the job is easy regarding that because it's just you have to know how to do print work, you have to know how to do some sort of drawings or visuals, and you have to be a game designer. So, yeah.
Lots of
Marketing,
things.
I wasn't great at marketing video games, and I'm not great at marketing games. So how do I handle the mise au marché, so the marketing of the thing? I don't. I'm bad. I'm not great at it. When I worked in advertisement, that was the job of many other people. The advertisement team was like 50 people, so I didn't have to do the work of everybody. I only had to do my work, which is to design web banners, advertisement banners. You know those pop-ups like it just annoy you? Like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
me. That used to be me. I don't do that anymore, but you know.
Did you also hide the exit button somewhere really annoying so that people cannot click it?
No, actually, there are actually standards and regulations about that. All of those banners that hide it actually are against the laws and good practices. No.
I
You,
see.
you actually have to, and also you want people to tell you when they click on the thing, so you have metrics and analytics coming from that button. So it's a bad idea to because you want to know. That's also if you close all the banners to be at peace. That's also how they get you, because now you complete a distant remote profile about your taste by negative. So all of those didn't interest you. You're probably interested by the rest. So no, we want the close button to be appearing. No.
Yep.
Those who hide it are just bad, just stupid. No, so back to the thing. Yeah, I trained to be a graphic designer and an artist. That's my main studies. Game design, unfortunately, I had to learn myself. But it's been 20 years, so at some point I got a few sticks up my sleeves. Marketing is hard. We talked about it earlier, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It is. If I didn't have disabilities and problems with mental disorder that prevent me from being very active, I have a ton of executive dysfunction and things like that, I would create way more. And I wouldn't have waited Daggerheart to exist. I would have written my own TTRPGs. I have written 4, 5, depending how I count TTRPGs. Small ones, of course. Nobody has heard about them. I can say Criminality Deadline Prison. I can say White Cloud Factory. What's the La Brigade? I forgot.
They're probably linked on your light link page, right?
No, not even.
What? Why not? Change that.
I mean, at some point in France, there is this thing called le GROG, which is the Guide Intergalactique, le Guide du Rôliste Intergalactique, which is a nod to the H2A G2, the Hitchhiker Guides to Galaxy. And it's basically the website of the Encyclopedia of TTRPGs in French. Sorry. But it's basically all of the French games, all of the games in English, some German games, some Spanish games. And, we're not completely polyglot. We don't have all of the Japanese games and all those. It's too much. But at least French and English, about all of them are there. And I have a creator page on that actually tells all my life, but I wrote that 12 years ago. I should update it. So I didn't put it in my link because it's in French and also it's
I
incomplete.
see.
But I should contact
I
them.
see. Please change it.
There's a few updates. But yeah, it's all my games are listed on that page, but again, written in French. I don't even support them myself. So, but it's just to say that this is absolutely not my first foray into game designing TTRPG stuff. This is only like the 15th or the 16th thing I designed more or less professionally. So that's also how you get good at them. If you do 16 more other jobs like that.
I see.
And
Let's.
layout, I learned at school. I learned on the job. I've done a few short-time jobs, internship at printing companies, and book companies like that, book editors. And so I've learned how to use InDesign a long time ago. I just dusted my skill on that a little bit recently, but yeah, for me it's not easy, but it's a thing I've known to do for years now. So I don't have a ton of advice on how to become that, except for
Just spend
make it
multiple
your life,
years.
and it's going to happen at some point.
Exactly.
I don't know how to do other stuff. If that's like I'm pretty good cook, but I couldn't be a chef. I'm not very sporty. I don't have I'm a creator, so I do creations.
That's great. That's great. Let's have a couple of more questions. We have a question from Not a Hack. What is the most important part in creating a new domain, and how do you find this intricate synergy between flavor, idea, and mechanic?
Well, for starters, it has to be your design principle. If you don't go for, I have to squeeze in as much flavor as possible in this card, it's going to elude you. It is so hard to properly design within the word count and thinking about few hundreds other cards that exist. Like the base domain is 21 by 9. It's a ton of domain cards already. Plus, like I already designed like a few domains at this point. If you have already worked on other stuff, like domains in the base game have been designed with the classes in mind, and the classes have been designed with the domains in mind. And so it was a whole dance. I've been through the beta, so I actually updated. I still have a version of that online, but I've been one of the guys in the beta scene in the early days of the community who religiously kept a note of all of the domain cards of all the versions of all the beta steps that I was part of. So I could compare how does the design of the game is moving in what direction? What do they prefer doing? If there was a problem, how did they fix it? And so having that insight, more than an insight, it's very informative on what actually they wanted to do with the game. So that's how I know, basically, because I didn't just do that for the domains, I also did that for other things. And that's how I know that the class hope features are a very, very late addition in the game. And it was one of the ways they had to solve a weird problem that many people, because of randomness, played the game and had too much hope, and they didn't know what to do with it. And the fact that so many times they felt like I have too much hope, why do I do that? It kills the concept of hope as a fleeting and necessary currency that you hope to get and to be able to use. But if you have too much of it, that doesn't work. And so what you do in game design for that is a thing called a money pit, which is basically a way to just make the resource disappear, usually for money in games, because you want money to be scarce and to create artificial scarcity. You trick the player into spending their money into bullshit stuff that costs way too much. And so, I don't have enough money anymore. Yeah, because I managed to make you spend all of it. And so basically they started as a big last minute money pit to actually it's a thing we see in the surveys. So what could cost way too much hope, like half of it? Okay, that would be good. And so if you look closely at the core book classes, some of the core the class hope features are great for the class. And some others was like, sure, if it wasn't there, it wouldn't change shit about the class.
Same.
That's
I
why.
have the same feeling.
Because it wasn't a core design thing.
Yeah. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
thought about that.
It was a last minute thing. So that's one of the things we get to. So I'm explaining all that to say that depending on what your intention as a game designer is, it's going to infuse into your work. So if I wanted to do a completely balanced domain about using guns or whatever, I could write 21 cards about better guns, be very careful about the distance, the ranges and things like that and all that. Is it fun? It wasn't part of my design process. Well, it shows. So my design process, I explained it right at the beginning of that call, is that my top goal when I design something in TTRPGs, I want players to have dreams. Once they read my stuff, I want them to have 1, 2, 3 dreams if necessary. I want my work to give them a good reason to play. For example, we talked earlier about the Deus Ex Machina card from Forge. Once the player knows that I can create Clank, I hook them. That's it. I have it. And this is the whole. I don't give a flying fuck about the mechanics. The mechanics can come later. That is more important. I knew from the beginning that I was creating a domain Forge because I wanted the players to be able to create Clanks. But it doesn't just like, oh, that would be a nice idea. No, it comes from being able to create a new person, in general, is hopeful. It's about a thing that you plan ahead. When people think about having kids, you're planning 20 years ahead, 40 years ahead. You're planning about after your death. Hopefully your children won't die before you. And so this is all about that. Like, ask yourself, what is the fantasy you want to serve? Because when you're asking yourself that question, if you want to follow my advice, when you're asking yourself the question of what fantasy am I aiming for, what you're asking yourself is, what is going to be the dream in your player's mind? What are you going to evoke? When your players are going to be, they are looking for that fantasy. This is what they do with their eyes. And so this is exactly what I'm aiming for. Now, of course, you have to be careful about the mechanics. That's on the second level. This is why I did all that work of reading all of the domain cards, understanding what changes, how the Rowan and Spencer think about modifying the cards to solve their problem. So I see how they solve the problem, and I'm trying to imitate this opinion, because I have my own opinion on what Daggerheart should have been, but this is not my game, so I have to cater to that, and I have to follow them. And one way to see in which direction to follow them is having seen them, at the distance. I never talked to them, but having seen their design evolved that direction, okay, I need to go there. And so, sense. It's a lot of work, but a lot of surveying, a lot of reading, but that's the job.
Amazing. I love that answer. Thank you so much for the insight. Quickly, 2 more questions. This one should be hopefully quick. A certain Jaybird Things asks, what is your favorite card in each domain?
Core book or mine?
I think your domains.
It's often going to be the 10 level, the level 10s. I mean, I'm right now in my home campaign, I'm a big hook of the story, a big arc of the story is all based on the fact that I'm playing with a ride, and the Haven side of with a wide is basically a colonial invasion force to the River Wide, which is one is in a book. And the very first thing I described in the campaign is a big explosion in the distance. And basically, I designed a whole part of the story just around the Oblivion detonator card. And basically, Haven is working on an atomic bomb.
Nice.
Based on that thing. So you can, as a player, if you play Forge, you can have a little version of that, but they're working on a big version of that. And basically, in the core of the Oblivion itself, I inspired myself of the black hole. And so when I describe the thing to my players, I send them a picture of the black hole. So there you go. That's what they're working on. and because of reasons, because the empire that has sent people to the Fenwick in Haven has, just like in European times, a lot of war with other countries like that, and they need a way to basically finish the war and make it stop. And just like Americans, they went like, you know what, this atomic bomb, that might be a way to stop the war in the Pacific. And so that's the thing. So basically, they are doing their atomic nuclear trials and test explosions in Fenwick. And so that's the whole point of the campaign. So that's how I work with things like that. Is I see Oblivion Detonator and I think story.
Yep, that makes sense.
Fate. I mean, fate. It has to be the fate with a wish. I mean, no. Defy Causality is a fun one. Defy Causality is a card when you get to appear a second time at the same time, but a different place, which makes no sense causality-wise. You get to do one of yourself each an action. Can be the same because at this point in time and moment, you have the same resources. You do two things that you couldn't do, or like if you have something once a session or once a long rest. No, because you can do it now. When you're done with that spotlight, the old you get disintegrated. And now you have a new you, and you get to play the whole physical thing as, is it still me? I duplicated myself, but I saw myself die. So what's happening? And because I knew that there could be fucked up ways to mess with causality with that, the last paragraph is, while in a paradoxical state, which is the condition of the card, if your actions pose any genuine problem to be resolved by the GM, or if you play another Defy Causality, for some reason, if you manage to copy that card, it fails, and the paradoxical state ends, and you mark 4 hit points as reality itself collapse on your existence. Don't fuck with me, okay? If you want to play with me, I know how to to slap you in the face. So, and I got to quote the Spider-Man meme of,
Yep.
I especially made it so that on the picture it would be Fairy's ancestry. So to be a little closer to the spider.
I think I feel very urged to show this now.
Yes, please show the card.
There we go. Yep.
It's a stupid card. I love it. My favorite card in Discipline is Break the Veil. I described it earlier. Is that you let go of all safety about your thing, you become overpowered, and at the end you die because you. That's another thing that they didn't do that in Daggerheart. That's one thing that I added in my domain. I want level 10 to be the end. There's no point playing years in level 10. Like you can play a few stories because this is the end of the story. This is what you aim for. But once you're there, you have to go out. You have to go to the retirement. It's over. Stop. And so many of my 11 cards, if you use them, you die, basically. So it's like, stop playing at level 10. It's done. And so, yeah, Break the Veil is great. I have to choose the other one in Anima. We talked at length about Immortal Right, but the Soul Broker, when people die around you and play Death Move, you add a new token on the card, and you now get to trade with life and death. And so it basically gives you 3 lives, additional extra lives for you or your friends. And so you do have to pay that with Death Move. So it might not be a great idea. But basically, every time you have someone around you or yourself with Death Move, you get to add a token. And every time someone should make a Death Move and you have tokens, you can spend the tokens itself to give back 1d12 hitbox and stress, however you want to. So basically, more or less the effect of Risk It All, but without the risk of it all. But again, you had to have a Death Move for that to be an option. So it basically half how much Death Moves you have to do in your team, basically.
Yep.
Which, I like the illustration I did. It's a nod to a wonderful comics that's called Death Vigil, done by Stepan Sejic. I can't remember his name. It's an amazing artist, and the story of Death Vigil is dear to my heart. And so I did a little nod on one of the characters of the thing. And cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun card. I like it. And it at the time where I designed, yes, I see another hag knows about Death Vigil. At the time I wrote that card, many people in the community were absolutely scared to shits about those death moves because like, oh la la, it's even worse than in D&D. And no, that's the opposite around. So like, look, if you're afraid of death moves, okay, let me put a level 10 card that shows you that not so much. It's fine.
Nice.
I like those cards. I designed them, but for once I like my work. So there you go.
Ah, that's beautiful. And isn't this also a beautiful quote to end on? As if this was planned. This was not planned. I had actually, I think, three more questions, but we brushed on most of them already in this Q&A. So
Oh.
that's why I will say we will finish for today. Also because it's already 2 hours, and I think that's plenty of time.
Yeah.
I am getting
I think
hungry.
you know by now that I don't stop talking if you don't stop me.
But it's also a lot of fun to listen to you and get all of your insights in this, because I learned so much today, and this was so cool. I got so much more insights into your domains and your classes, that I'm more excited now. Before the stream, I was all in already on the Forge domain, and I was super interested in the Espirimancer, especially because of this necromancer, this different thing on necromancy. So yeah, thank you so much for broadening my horizon on the classes and the domains, and I have to play them now. You successfully convinced me I have to play all of these now.
Yeah.
This
Both
is so
of
cool.
you, Jamie and you, are making amazing job for the community. So thank you, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is very kind of you. And I think this is the end for this Creator Spotlight. But it is not the end for CXZman. Can you give us a little tease? What is next? Are you working already on something?
No. I mean, I don't want to end on such a bad note, but I am waiting to see how the CGL thing is going to evolve, to see if I still get involved in the thing. We'll see. I had a blast doing what I did. I mean, I'm very happy with the state of my work. I'm very happy to see that almost no one disliked what I did. That's almost full marks for me. I couldn't expect that much. I was expecting a ton of shit from my way, but no. So I'm happy with that.
The Daggerheart community is really nice.
As I said earlier, if I have to plan new things, I can always design a second class for my domains. Remember that all domains have two classes, or class have two domains.
That is true.
So I can do a whole lot of 4 more classes if I could. I have a few in the chamber, but no, I haven't actually started working on them.
Amazing.
And as I said earlier, when I designed those domains, I thought, about that is as much we can do. And then I had 5 more ideas after that. One of the domains I think is still not in the wild and still not designed by Daggerheart. And it's like, it's right there. Can we? No? Okay, I thought it was a low-hanging fruit. Nobody has thought of it. So
you have to do it.
I will maybe do it at some point. A domain is a lot of work.
I imagine.
But I love to work.
Isn't this also what we all love as TTRPG creators? Like the process of making things is so much fun. Trying to fiddle around with mechanics and see to make them work, and also find new ways to break the game, or maybe create new combos. And this is one thing that I can already vouch for. There's so much combo potential in your classes and your domains. It is crazy. These things.
I might have designed those in such way.
These are expert classes. If you are excited to not play a card, to not only play a class, but rather like tinker with it and find out new ways to combine all of with your friends, to combine other classes and your domains with this. And this is for you. These classes are for you. This is amazing. And please let everyone out there get the domains and the classes from CXZman, test them out, and tell him how amazing how amazing you think they are, and then hopefully we get more.
We might.
Alrighty. This should be it. This is the end of our little creator spotlight. CXZman, thank you so much for coming by and talking about your classes. I had a blast. And also a big thank you to chat who spent the time with us, gave us questions. Shout out to Jeff, who's watching this as a VOD. And a big thank you to the Jamie Raven in chat, who was our moderator today and leaving all of the beautiful links in chat for people to find their stuff that we have been talking on today in this stream. So thank you very much. CXZman, last words are for you. Who you can shout out anyone and anything that you like. This is the end.
Anything or anything that I like. Oh my god, this community kills. It slays. It's very comfortable to work and design in this such an environment around. Like, I can talk to any between Mike and Carlos and all of the other designers that just popped up, and I've almost done two, but I've done one professional work helping a book from D&D to come to the Daggerheart, translate the mechanics and all that. I was hoping to do more of that, but people are a little bit but I never had so much work to do in the TTRPG scene than these years, because it's so easy. The community is very approachable, very respectful of each other. Especially in this part of the community, we are long past the days where most of the community in TTRPGs can be pretty harsh, pretty brutal with each other, for many historical and logical reasons. This is different. It's a breath of oxygen, if anything, and these are my great days. So no, I'm very happy to be here. I named a few names, but if you are in those circles, you're a great person. I love you. Voilà. It's just, I don't know who I should shout out particularly. I did shout out you to Jamie and you, Azu, because again, you're doing great work for the community and wouldn't be here if you didn't call me. So again, I didn't want to ask you for a spot there, but
why not?
You came to me, and of course.
Okay, this is to everyone out there. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
If you have a product for Daggerheart and you want to be on a spotlight, ask us. We are always happy to accommodate you and show your work if it fits into our timetable. Please do. Sorry, CXZman, back to you.
No, but it's thank you for your consideration, and keep doing your things. I don't have any notes. Keep doing.
Hopefully, we will try to keep the Daggerheart community a accommodating place, and just we're already going. We're already showing how it is, right? Anyways, this is it. I had a blast. Thank you so much again, and that's, I think the only thing I can say is to everyone who's watching this and who's asking, oh, this was so cool. When is the next Creator Spotlight coming out? You don't have to wait long. In fact, not even 2 weeks long. We will see each other again in the beginning of September with not 1, not 2, but 4 people at the same time. Stay tuned. Follow us on our channels, follow us wherever you want, wherever you can find Bart and Raven, but most importantly, find CXZman. The Jamie Raven already has linked his light link, where you can find all of his work and these beautiful classes. And now I stop talking. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, everyone. See you next time.